Welcome, everybody. Hi, thank you for watching. I'm Steven, the Jupiterian here, and we just moved. Yay, Saturn just moved. Well, we collectively may have felt or feel Saturn's movement into the sign of Aries. Yay, bold, taking action. Hooray. He's done with Pisces for the next 30 years or so, about 30 years. Uh, yeah. So if you subtract, because actually the last time Saturn was in Aries was in 1996, 97. And I'm going to share that chart with you right now. And I'm going to share, as usual, here's my chart with the planetary movements. We have Leo rising at the moment on the West Coast, anyway, of when I am recording this. And yeah, so actually at 4:11 today, not too far long ago, about 13 minutes ago, about 13 minutes ago, Saturn entered Aries. And actually, I'm really happy that it's out of my fourth house and moved into my fifth house of fun and pleasure, creativity, along with Neptune here. Mercury is conjunct the sun. Actually, I put this is not the true node, but the mean node for at 12 degrees, sun at 11 degrees, card of fortune at 6 degrees and 51 minutes. So yeah. The sun at 11 degrees, 17 minutes of Pisces. The north node, the mean north node at 12 degrees, 5 minutes. Venus in Pisces, exalted, yes. Venus is also back in her exaltation in the beginning of the sign of Pisces. By the 20th, I believe, Venus should be over my natal Venus by the 20th. Okay, by the 26th. And Mercury will be retrograde by then. So yeah, over my Mercury. Venus. Mercury will be conjunct Venus, and so will Venus be conjunct my natal Venus. We're having party. Yep. And the sun will be moving into Pisces very soon. Actually, today is the 13th. Friday the 13th. Tomorrow is the 14th, Valentine's Day. So, yes, here we are. Saturn no longer will be in Pisces for quite some time. So let's move this back into years. And the next time Saturn will be in Pisces. Actually, the last time, 2008. No, Saturn in 2008 was in Virgo. 2009 still in Virgo. Saturn in Libra. Saturn in Sagittarius by the 2017, 2019, 20. So yeah, about another year. Okay, and then we'll move this into months. Saturn 2023, approximately around there. Let's see. Let's move this into weeks. Saturn was an air Gemini, Aquarius. Saturn was in Aquarius, March 6th, 2023. And then let's go back in ahead in days. So, March 7th, 2023. Saturn in Pisces, 2023 to 2026. So, yeah, 3 years. Yeah. Yep. About approximately 3 years. Because this was March till today. We have Saturn in Aries now, right now. So if we move this into years, 1, 2, and today. Saturn, okay. March 7th, 2020, this year, Saturn will be at 2 degrees of Aries. But we're not in March yet. We're only in the middle of February. And February, we have how many more weeks left? And today's Friday, so it's Friday the 13th, then Friday the 20th, and then we have Friday the 27th, and then we're done. Oh, and then the 28th, Saturday the 28th is the last day of February. Saturday, February 28th. So 3 weeks. So, well, no. So that we one, 2 weeks. Actually, is it 2 weeks? Yeah, 2 weeks from now, and I'll be 56 on March 2nd. My solar return, though, is on March 1st this year. Yay! So, we can celebrate. It's time to celebrate. Yep. Let's move this into weeks then. Or actually, let's go to the time clock and we will just share this chart right now. We have Leo rising. The moon is in detriment in Capricorn. Even though Saturn is in Aries, he is in detriment as well. Saturn, oh no, Saturn in Aries is in fall. Sorry. Saturn is in fall in Aries. Mercury is in detriment and fall. Venus is in her exaltation. The sun is in detriment in Aquarius. But detrimental planets and fall planets, well, they don't particularly operate well in there, and the planets don't operate well in these signs. Like Mercury does not operate well, communicate well in Pisces. And for the and also I would also like to add that the strike for the San Francisco School District, um, Unified School District, anyway, their strike is over technically, but Mercury is in um, what you call pre-shadow period. So I have a feeling that we will see a strike coming up again once Mercury enters Aries. Yeah. Communication in the fire sign of Aries, bold and yeah, dominant sign of Aries, where they'll be making negotiations and talking about they um, what people want. More protests will be coming along as well, and yeah, actually, hmm. And there was also an incident the other day, in Canada, in a Canadian school. There was a school shooting. I'm not sure if I can say that on here, but I'm not monetized at the moment, so this may keep me from being monetized. Um, I'm trying to, with Mercury in Pisces, I'm trying to be to use my words deliberately instead of just blurting something out. Um, that's when Mercury will be moving into Aries, and that will be Mercury enters Aries about. Let's move this into days. April, yeah, in April. April 14th, 15th, I think. Move this back in hours. The 15th, the 14th. The 14th. Yeah. Mercury enters Aries on the 14th of April. Or is that the 15th? No, it's on the 15th of April. Let me see. Let's move to April. Let's check something out here. I want to double check. Mercury enters Aries. Yes, on the 14th of April. Okay. So we'll move this a day. Mercury is at 29 degrees and 1. So let's move this into hours then. It'll be late at night April 14th on the West Coast, which means that for the rest of the world, Mercury will be in Aries for on the 14th. Yes, the 8:36 p.m. About that. We go back to in minutes. 8:30, 20, 8. All right, 8:22. About 8:22 in the morning at night on the West Coast. So add 3 hours. It'll be 11:22 on the East Coast. So yeah, actually, but the rest of the world, Mercury will be in Aries on the 14th. Yes. Okay. So the 14th. And we have this Chiron. Well, the Sun will be conjunct Chiron soon. Saturn in 7 degrees of Aries. Mars is in his rulership in Aries. Saturn is in full. Mars is in rulership. Mercury in Aries. Well, Mercury does not have any dignity in Aries. Not that it's a bad thing, but Mercury in Aries is very talkative, probably talks very fast. Although you would think I have Mercury in Aries, I have Mercury in Aquarius. Still, that's pretty quick witted and snappy and yes. It's in I have Mercury in the third house. So as Sagittarius rising, so yes. And Scorpio rising at this moment when Mercury enters Aries. Hmm. In the sixth house. So Scorpio, you have a full sixth house here of work, service, um, some probably health issues too. Uh, uh, Also probably having something to do with pets, service animals. Could be service animals. Scorpio. You would make a good veterinarian. Scorpio rising. Yeah. With all these planets here in your sixth or transiting your sixth house, if you were wanting to do that, that's something that, or being of service, or being of service in some health industry, in the health industry, health field. Um, but yeah, actually, we'll move this into ours. Sagittarius rising. Well, this is all happening in your fifth house of creativity, children, pleasure, fun, casual relationships. Date actually if you want to start if you're single, this is the best time to start dating. If you are in a relationship, you can actually rekindle something here in romance, in your house of romance. Sounds good for me, Sagittarius. Capricorn, yes, here's your fourth house. So, doing things in the home, uh, taking action, probably doing like, well, actually, there could be some delay or something in home at the home with Saturn here. It could cause delay. Saturn could also be discipline, something you are very needs to be focused on. Well, you can actually ask what Sagittarius. Well, they just had their had Saturn go through their fourth house of Pisces. So yes, it's about restructuring your home and all that. So yeah, maybe moving as well, or restructuring. Yeah. Yeah, but sometimes you could move. You don't have you or restructuring your home, most likely. Um, well, the moon is in Pisces as well, and Saturn is your ruler. Since Saturn is in full in your fourth house, Capricorn, and by this time, Sagittarius rising. This is Jupiter. I forgot. Jupiter is your eighth house, and Jupiter is not retrograde anymore at this time. Um, let's go ahead and Aquarius rising. This stellium of planets: Mercury, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, and the Sun, and we'll also throw in the asteroid Chiron. We got some healing or something going on with your third house siblings, your neighbors, neighborhood, local things that you're um, familiar with, your familiar environment. Maybe restructuring something here, taking some actions in your neighborhood, siblings dealing with siblings. Aquarius rising. Saturn is also ruled by you, Aquarius. Saturn rules Aquarius. So structuring, restructure, just making, doing some, just taking some discipline on. Let's go to Pisces rising. This stellium is in your second house of money, finance, possessions, and the things you consume. You're a consumer. The things you consume in your body, or the things you consume as a consumer, like if you're buying goods and services, what your money, where your money goes towards. Maybe restructuring your finances. You could be restructuring your accounts, your personal accounts at this time. Pisces rising, and Saturn. And I'm sorry, yes, Saturn is here in the second house as well. So restructuring things. And Jupiter, you're ruled by Jupiter in your fifth house. You'll probably be doing more something very creative in this at this time, expanding your creativity, expanding your something you want to do for fun activities, a hobby. Could you maybe expanding your horizons here with a hobby that you've probably wanted, and you were or even are working towards a big project here? Pisces rising, and you can keep that momentum going now that Jupiter is no longer retrograde. You can pick that up again, and momentum is great because there are no retrograde planets. No planets are retrograde in April. So it's time to go, 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 go. So, which is great. Hey, it's really good. For Aries rising. Well, you're ruled by Mars. Mars is in your first house, and you have this stellium of planets from Mercury, Neptune, Mars, Saturn, then the Sun, and asteroid Chiron, all in your first house. Restructure. Maybe you're restructuring your personality. How people see you may change. Um, and it's very healing as well. So you're like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly here, Aries. I like this energy here for you, Aries. You will be more uh maybe talking more about what you want, what your need, what your need about your needs, what your your wants, your desires. Venus is in Taurus in your second house. So yes, desires and what you want. Venus is exalted. No, sorry. Venus is in rulership in Taurus in your second house. So and Uranus is still in Taurus as well at the 29th degree. So almost out of Taurus until I think is it June, but we'll go ahead to whoops, Taurus rising. Well, this is all in your 12th house, Taurus. Mercury, then the sun, the moon enters Aries. This is about the house of undoing. This is about spirituality, um, hidden things that are hidden, um, hospitals or institutions like schools and things like that. Taurus rising. Venus is in your first house, so yeah, something unexpected. And Uranus is still in your first house as well, Taurus. But Venus always, you're going to probably make yourself over, make yourself look very handsome for a man, or something, or do something to make yourself look, or you may be just exude sexuality, or exude a bright, beautiful persona. You may be bubbly, yeah, yeah. Like you, like I'm thinking champagne, bubbly champagne, and yeah. All right, Gemini. Uranus will be getting your sign very soon, Gemini. But we have all these planets. Mercury, the moon will be in Aries at this time. Neptune, Mars, Saturn, the sun, and Chiron, all in your 11th house. Probably restructuring things with friends, or taking action with your friends, some or friend groups, organizations. Um, Restructuring an organization that maybe you are deciding that an organization no longer appeals to you, Gemini, or you may change something in this realm of your 11th house, possibly in April. May even take on new pursuit in a new direction for and a new organization. You may even start your own. Could start your own. If you dream it, you can be it. um, Gemini and Mercury is ruled by you. You're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is in Aries right now. So, yeah, a good time for you to be doing things with your friends, social gatherings, being with like-minded people, friends, and actually possibly mm, um, dealing with something. Well, actually, you'll probably be getting some kind of uh, no, hmm, not getting something. Possibly. Uh, and it's not ending. It's something because actually Mercury is fast and furious. Mars is fast and furious. Saturn slow. Well, it's taking it slow. But yeah, Saturn is in fall here. Hmm. Saturn, you may be delays, make doing some delays here or restructuring something in here, as I said. Um, and we're getting closer to a new moon since the moon is in Aries. In a couple days, it'll be a new moon on April or in April. All right, moving on to Cancer. You're ruled by the moon. The moon is transiting your 10th house with this whole stellium of planets. So you're restructuring your career, Saturn, taking some action, doing like possibly strategizing, Mercury, feeling through and dreaming big, Neptune, big dreams. Yeah. Neptune could also be hiding something from you. Like she'll be having a bit of fog over your career that you're not sure where you're going. That could be Saturn as well. But this could all be like also restructuring what you want in your career, how you want to restructure your career and your public persona as well is all here. And then we go to Leo rising. Well, Leo rising, all these planets are in your ninth house of higher education, book publishing. You may even write a book, or start publishing. Could have a delay in a publishing a little bit, but working diligently to get the published, uh, slowly, steadily. You'll get it. You could get it done. Um, the dream will come true. Um, Maybe I would say that I wouldn't plan on uh any trips to far distances. There may be delays with Saturn in your ninth house. Uh, Saturn in the ninth could also be very good for you because actually you could talk Mercury in large academic places, even ashrams. That's the ninth house. Ninth house places like schools, or other institutions. Like the 12th house is like more like institutions, but this is higher education, like a lecture hall or religious establishment. Being on the pulpit, the law, or just giving a presentation. I see, or academia. This is the house of academia, the ninth house. Okay, let's see. So you're ruled by the sun, Leo. Yep. You have all this whole thing. Yeah, there. Yeah. And Jupiter is here in your 12th house. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah. Although it's not best to expand things in your 12th house, like self undoing. You could actually undo something here, Jupiter, or if you can become more spiritual. This is a really great time to become more spiritual, more uh this could also deal you could also deal with money overseas, Jupiter, expanding your horizons overseas, expanding a money situation. Possible. That's possible. Anything is possible with Jupiter expanding anything in the 12th house. Jupiter expands everything in what the house that it's in. So could also expand your hidden enemies. They could come out anywhere. So Virgo, you're ruled by Mercury. Mercury is with this stellium of planets in Aries in your eighth house of hidden things that are hidden, things that are um this is a very psychological house. The eighth house is also other people's money and others' resources, other people dealing with your spouse's money too. Um, Virgo. April is going to be interesting. The middle of April is going to be interesting. Oh, April, all of April will be interesting when Mars enters Aries and Saturn is there now in your eighth house. Just entered your eighth house. Uh, you may restructure how you're thinking, your psyche. Restructuring your thinking processes on what to do next, what's to come, what. Yeah, actually, the eighth house. Yeah, is very deep, and it's in fire. In fire as well, so it'll be very passionate. All right, we're going moving on to Libra. Libra, you're ruled by Venus. Venus is in your eighth house. Wow. Money, other people's money. Actually, this is a really good place for Venus to be in the eighth house. And you have this stellium of planets in your seventh. So your partner, and this is all about your partner, the seventh and eighth. So maybe Virgo, I'm sorry, Libra. Your other ruling planet is in its ruling sign of Taurus, which is your eighth house of inheritance, loans, I think other people's money. Um, so you probably your partner probably is restructuring their life. Saturn in your seventh. This is the seventh house is not about you. The seventh house is all about your partner. Sorry, sorry, Libra, but that's okay. You like to be. Your partner will probably take some prominent space time in you starting at this time right now at this moment in the month of April. Not bad for your partner. And money matters will get better. Venus is here. Although actually Uranus is still in your eighth house as well. So still could have some um, uneasy time here until Uranus moves into your ninth house. And then we're back to Scorpio, where we started. Isn't that where we started? Yes. Scorpio. And then let's move this into days. When does Uranus enter Gemini? Venus enters Gemini first, and then Uranus at the end of April. 25th, or is that the, is it the 25th or the 24th? Yes, the 25th. Okay. Yep. The 25th or the 26th of April. All right. Let me see. The 25th of April. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the 25th of April. Uranus enters Gemini. And Uranus will not be in Taurus for quite some time. So, Taurus, you'll be after April 25th, 4th, 5th. Yeah. The last day of the 24th is the last final day, the final day Uranus will be in Taurus. But by the 25th, you don't have to deal with Uranus again because Uranus takes about 84 years to get back to a sign. So you have 84 years until Uranus gets back to Taurus. If you're old enough, if you're old enough to get to see Uranus and Taurus again, um, yeah, I don't think I will because I'll be 56 by this time, and 84 and 56. I don't think so. Nope, not for me. I won't see Uranus and Taurus again. All right, so here we are, still Leo rising. The moon is in the sixth house of service in detriment. The moon, is very stoic here in Capricorn. The moon, emotions are not, well, I'm not saying that you're emotionless. You just don't show them as often or very well. You don't, yeah. The moon doesn't do well in Capricorn. Emotions are mm, under the Saturnian guise of Capricorn. Yeah. So we have at least a month and a quarter, maybe, of Uranus in Taurus until April 25th. Not bad. He's at the 27th degree right now. Uh, so, yeah. Will we see some change in the world? Yes. More change for the better? I think so. Your Saturn in Aries will definitely um you'll be working, but not actually no, but I would advise to just work slowly, methodically, uh boldly, but not um spontaneous. Don't be try not to be so spontaneous with just think of something and do it. Write down I would write down um the steps, how you want to do it. You have 2.5 years of Saturn in Aries to figure this out. And if you've lived through Saturn in Aries in 1996 to 1998, you know what I'm talking about. You don't have to work too hard. Just take it slow, but don't give up. So that's what I have for you all. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian, as always, actually, and then on the 17th, we have a we have a solar eclipse coming up on Tuesday. I will be doing another video on that because I'm sure that we're all going to be feeling it very soon, or if not already, uh, because this solar eclipse is in Aquarius, and we have so many things going on. Um, well, let's see. Aquarius right now we have, yeah. So yeah, actually, and then we move this into 2 days, 13, yeah, 17, the 17th. By that, yeah, we are in the midst of the new moon, but actually the moon is in Pisces at this time that I have changed it. You move it into hours, where the sun and the moon will be at 28 degrees. We'll move this into minutes. 28, yeah, here we are. The new moon at 4 a.m. This is on the West Coast. And let's see. It's also making a square to Uranus, which started today, actually. We're still making this square. This square will be perfecting on the 16th. So here you go. Here you are. The sun at 27 degrees, Uranus at 27 degrees. There'll be a perfect square on Monday. It started today. We have this square between the sun at 25 degrees and Uranus at 27. So, yeah, it's starting to make a square, but it'll be perfect. It'll perfect on the 16th, on Monday. Or exact on Monday. And then we have this opposition with the moon and Jupiter. And this is Juno, which has transited into Capricorn by this time. At 16, well, it's already there, 16 degrees today, making opposition today and tomorrow. Well, not many. And it's out of its opposition by this time tomorrow, Saturday. Sunday the 15th, the 16th, the 17th. Yeah. So the 17th early. Yeah. At 4 a.m. Or is it 4 p.m.? Or is that an hour? No. 4 a.m. Yeah. At 4 a.m. Yeah. 4 a.m. And we'll also have starting fire, the year of the fire horse on Tuesday the 17th. So the year of the snake is almost over, which we're still in the year of the snake. We are starting the year of the fire horse on the 17th. So I know for me that I'm going to share something here. Let's move this into years. 30 years ago, 28 years ago, I think. 28 to 30 years ago. 1990. Six. Let me see. Saturn was in Pisces in 1996. 1997. Saturn. I had started my Saturn return here. Oh wait, no, not yet. Saturn is Saturn was conjunct Chiron, so I did some healing through art, and being creative. I was also finishing by February of 1997. I had graduated college. Yay! And I was working, and I actually did things that are very creative. It was a healing time for me as well. I did things that healed my soul. And I worked with children as well. I actually got my degree in elementary education, where I started teaching and as a substitute teacher by this time because I had just graduated in 97. And, 98. Well, no, and actually, I was student teaching here, 97. And then the following year, 98, I had graduated. Saturn was still in Aries. I was still uh, working in a retail store. 99. Actually, I started that in 99. 98. I actually was starting to. Yeah, I was a substitute teacher. Hmm. Because the month before that, by January 25th, I graduated. So, and then I started working as a teacher, tutoring, working, and actually doing community theater. Uh, and then next year, 1999, well, Saturn, by this time, well, actually by June in 1999, I was also working now I was started working at the retail store, being of service to others in a educational supply store, and substitute teaching, and getting getting some theater experience, doing some community theater at the time as well. And then I decided and to register and to go to NYU, got in, started a few months later. Yeah, started in January of 2000. Pluto was over going through my first house. So yeah, it's just Saturn. So I'm following Saturn, and Jupiter was over my Mars. So perfect time to take action, doing something creatively in educational theater or through NYU, and working constantly. Working constantly, um, without any breaks. Which probably was my downfall because I got really ill in 99 or 98 too. 98, 99, 2000. I was not paying attention to my body. I was thinking of everybody else, constantly working, on the hamster wheel of life until it's like my body decided to give up and be like, all right, you need to stop. And yeah, since Saturn opposes my Jupiter here, Saturn in Saturn and Jupiter, they're in opposition in my chart. So there's a little compromise here of my health and my spirit, and health issues took precedence. Had to take care of myself, which I still worked. I didn't work as hard. I didn't work as I maybe gave a if I on my spare time I would rest when I needed to. Learned that I needed to take it easy, take a rest, not to do too much. Take it slow and steady. So that was 1996 to 2000, and then let's go 2001. Jupiter entered my seventh house. So I was in a relationship at the time. Uh, that ended because a month later, I was going to London. Yeah, in the summer when Saturn entered Gemini. This summer, yeah, I relationship had ended, and I went overseas to London, doing other things with actually doing my studying abroad in London, studying, getting my master's degree in educational theater in this over this summer of 2001. And then we'll move ahead to July. I was still in London. Jupiter entered Cancer, still in London. And actually, and this time I was in Edinburgh at this time as well until August. And then September came around, and September 13th. September 11th, September, we all know what happened. September 11th. Jupiter was also in Cancer back then, and Saturn was in Gemini. We had so many things going on back then. NYU was shut down because of the incident that occurred in the city of New York City. Um, so yeah, that whole area was shut down, and so was NYU for a short time. And I had, as I said in the previous video, I only had 2 more credits to take, and I had already taken one, and then November took the other credit. I actually took 2 1 credit classes to get my 2 credits that I needed to graduate. So yeah, so and then December was my last semester. and then graduated January 2002 with my master's degree. And it's right behind me. My degree is right behind me. It was a very proud day of that time. Still was not in a relationship. Saturn dissolved that relationship for another 2 years till Saturn moved into Cancer and Jupiter in Virgo, 2004. Yeah. So I was no longer working at the educational supply store when I came back from London. When I did come back from London, I went back to the supply store, the educational supply store, and was teaching also. But by 2004, I left. Jupiter was in my 10th house, and when he conjunct Pluto, that's when I lost my job with the educational supply store. And then it closed. So, yeah. The following year, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2009, 2010. Yeah, I think I told you about 2010 when I applied to Adelphi University for a second degree, master's degree in social work, which did not come through. Saturn conjunct Uranus. um, Not a great combination, so yeah. So that's when I decided that, I started to think about astrology as a full-time job. That was like on the back of my mind, I should do astrology. And I was doing astrology all through this whole entire thing. As I said in previous videos, I did always astrology was always on the back burner, learning the new things and taking my time learning them. And then, yeah, in 2015, I decided to do it full time, like study seriously, seriously study. Well, actually, when Saturn was in Leo, pretty much, yeah, as well. When Saturn was in Leo, I studied a little bit of astrology slowly. I had always known about astrology. Yeah, as you know, my aunt introduced me to astrology, all kinds of things. Saturn in the ninth house, and then when Saturn entered my first house was when Saturn entered my 11th. This is my almost like okay. I found some groups, like-minded astrologers, spiritual people, and then I took my first real astrology class in 2015, and was teaching as well. All the while, still teaching in the classroom. in many different capacities, from paraprofessional to um, substitute teacher and assistant teacher till 2022, 122. Saturn entered my third house. So, yeah, I was like, okay, astrology it is. So I've been an astrologer for, wow, a while, a long time. I've been a teacher for a classroom teacher, 25 years. So that's, yeah. Thanks for watching. I'm Stephen the Jupiterian. If you would like to go through your chart like I did mine, you can always book a reading with me. Um, as a coupon code Pisces 50, all uppercase Pisces, Pisces 50 for 50% off. I could also do astrocartography. And you'll find everything on my website. It's in yourstars.com. There's a whole list of offerings from tarot card readings, half hour to an hour long, either half hour or an hour long. Um, get half off of those readings. Astrology reading, astrocartography reading, the next 6 months to a year reading. It's all there in my website. So yes. Thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up. Give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Post a comment, and if you'd like to share the video, please do so. Thanks. Thank you to 240 of you who have subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. I haven't posted a lot this week, and some of you know what I've been going through this week. Um, my mom's out of the hospital, she's now in rehab, doing much better. All right, thanks. Take care. Bye.